welcome to a comforting selection of Auntie's bloomers guaranteed to provide heartwarming reassurance. There's always someone worse off than you. And to prove that that someone probably works for the BBC. It's a tough life here for us humble foot soldiers in the DG's broadcasting army, as he likes to think of it. But we wear the scars of the ratings war proudly. Not much scares us. Not even bumping into Jamie Oliver when he's taking his role as the naked chef a little too literally. However, there is one sound that will have even the BBC's bravest running for the hills. No, not Gabby Roslin singing. The patter of tiny feet.
Mr. Bridge, well, what do you do about your rubbish? Oh, poor baby.
Yes, hello, I'm at the family of the Hawes in Durham, and I'm joined by young Frank. Frank, how old are you?
3 and 4 Septembers.
3 and 4 Septembers. And I'm joined by young Frank. Frank, how old are you?
3 and 4
Frank, how old are you?
Nearly 4.
But Molly's going to be the taster today. Would you like to sample?
No, okay. You try some...
What an actress!
Well, that's it from the travel show for now. We'll be back at the same time next week. See you then. Goodbye.
Who wants to hold on to that one for me? There we go. That's very good.
One of the very strange phenomena that you'll notice around the BBC is that otherwise lifeless objects suddenly spring into action. When the governor's here, last order's being called, for example. Here's the proof of the havoc which inanimate objects can cause.
The sitting room is a riot of colour, and it's an example of Emma and her man working in perfect harmony. She chose the paint, he slaps it on, and they're very musical. She's ever so good on the... Oh. Oh dear. I'm sorry, your tin recorder's just gone.
Action.
That's right. And as I said, the only sighting so far has been in your area, so you need to alert your forest rangers as soon as possible. Thank you. McCabe? That code didn't go on, did you see that?
The Snaefell mine was sealed and flooded. After the tragedy, this...
Well, just over the horizon there is the vast expanse of Dartmoor. Do you ever go there?
Quite often.
This is not our moment now.
You know, it doesn't really matter where you are. There are always those who can spot a bargain and those who can't. I should have filled this car up on the other side of the border. Mervyn Jess, BBC News.
Here's something that will pin your ears back. Just very occasionally, now and then, well, every 5 minutes or so, the lean, mean fighting machine that is the BBC makes a calamitous blunder. Should have seen the producer's face when I turned up for the first recording of Blankety Blank. He thought he'd booked the chap who just won the Eurovision for Ireland with What's Another Year. What happened to Johnny Logan? But to be honest, in the chaos of the concrete donut here, it's as much as people can do to remember their own names, let alone anybody else's.
Let's turn our showbiz super trooper now firmly on the face of our first guest on the sofa tonight, Mr. David Arnold, of course. He's made his name writing grand orchestrated film scores for the likes of James Bond and Independence Day, but he's also likely to pop up with the odd top 10 hit for the likes of Left Field and Björk, or is it Björk? Yeah, it's the official pronunciation. I was going for the Icelandic one there. Anyway, there are also a few surprises in his locker. Here's some of the Music Man's work. David, that's just some of your work. I mean, you've done an awful lot. But interesting, when we started off with the live and kicking thing, it was a little bit of a shrug of the shoulders and shake of the head. Do you not like being reminded of that?
I didn't do it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no,
is there a myth flying around?
No, there is another David Arnold. And the other David Arnold does things like that. So, yeah, no.
I'll tell you what, Jake, why don't you go and get yourself ready?
Jake.
Tell you what, Joe. Spotted, my boy.
And as they weren't going to split their vote in reflecting how their members voted, there was no point in us putting in any effort, so we'd written it off before they voted.
OK, good for you. Mr Livingston, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Mr Dobson.
Managing Director of Internet at NTL, Jerry Rust, joins me now. What's gone wrong? What's gone wrong in your offer?
I'm afraid this is not what I'm talking about.
I'm afraid we obviously have the wrong guest here. That's deeply embarrassing for us. You're not Jerry, obviously,
No,
so I've got the wrong person. I ask in the green room, people. I should have memorised that. So let's talk about something else. No. Let's move back now to this NTL story that we were talking about before. This is a television and internet group. It's angered thousands of potential customers by failing to send out the CD-ROM discs needed to use its free web access service. It's not the first time, I have to say, that this has happened, not purely, of course, at NTL. The question is, Michael, why has it happened? You're not Michael, you're Jerry. Am I getting confused or what, Jerry?
It's OK, I'm Jerry Roos.
The question is, I think you should just all pretend to be who I think you should be.
You might have realised when there are precious few reasons to laugh around here. Dale Winton CV accepted. Nonetheless, it's clear when the mood takes you, a little laughter can go a long, long way.
Don't you know who I am?
No, I'm sorry, I
Oh,
don't.
for goodness sakes, I'm a gay icon. Come on, the big hair, the trademark poncho and tight catsuit underneath. Come on, touch me in the morning.
Don't get funny, madam.
American, that's Miss to you.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, right, I'm going to have to show you. OK. Golden finger, he's the man with a golden touch so much.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's all to say. Broke on 13.
I blanked completely and simply went, ooh.
Well, thank you very much, mate. That was just
Oh, yeah?
fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, mate.
It's riding better and better all day long, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And,
You're getting faster and faster.
well, thanks very much. That was...
Ooh. Oh, look how red I am, you're evil.
Which dog was sacred in ancient China?
Alsatian.
Pekingese. Paul. In the human body, what medical condition does hypertension describe?
High blood pressure.
Sorry.
Many hazards lie in wait for the unsuspecting BBC artiste. There's the surprise inspection of your dressing room. to make sure that you've not turned on more than one light bulb. The intimate body search on leaving the premises to make sure you're not in illegal possession of any BBC stationery. And of course, the perils posed by a tricky script when you need all the friends you can get.
A-N-T spells ant.
D-E-C spells deck.
But what does F-R-I-E-N-D-S-L-A-T say?
You'll be lucky you get this the second time at all.
A-N-T spells ant.
D-E-C spells deck.
But what does F-R-I-E-N-D-S-L-A...
Now, I have to show you these, because these are little masterpieces. Remember the Yorkshire pudding from our roast beef with a little horseradish cream, some sliced beef, topped with some red onion marmalade. Now, this is our last recipe of the series. And, Emma, I would like to give you one.
You're staying overnight, aren't you?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Why don't the three of you come and stay with me? We could have an early night. No, we couldn't.
Oh! Oh, my, hang on, I'm going to get needles everywhere.
No, it's a non-drop tree. It's been treated.
I thought Kate's was big.
Yeah, I know. I got it in the market. It was a bargain.
But you should have taken the car and tied it to the tree.
No.
So, on the basis of your long professional association, Mr. Creek, would you describe Mr. Klaus as a celibate man?
Well, hardly that, no.
A monogamous.
I'm certain that this time Roxanne will give me Miranda's new number. I'm going to distract her by asking her if Miranda's still afraid of jugglers.
Roxanne is not going to remember if Miranda's afraid of jugglers.
Oh, why not? She's already remembered about the papaya.
Now, it's not always appreciated that you need many skills to make a career in television. Several of them cruelly undervalued. For example, people don't really understand the sheer complexity of sitting in one place and reading out loud. Perhaps the most important attribute is composure. You won't see a true BBC pro's upper lip go limp when things go up in the air.
You knew that was going to happen, didn't you?
Now, you know what they say about boys and toys, and they've given me a tip cat to play with. This is what you have to do. You have to hit it with a big piece of wood. Once it's airborne, you smack it again. But it's not easy, but it's a bit like this. Well, something like that. And when it's airborne, you try and hit it again. A bit like this. A bit like this. But not quite. And when it's airborne, you try and smack it again. A bit like this. It's not very easy for some people, but... Oh.
Bizarrely, up until last year, I still could not work out the difference between gross and net. And here was I running Britain's biggest private group of companies. And a friend of mine finally sat me down and said, "Look, Richard, we can tell whenever we're meeting and going through figures that you're just nodding and you have no idea what we're talking about. So let me explain. Now, look, take a fishing net. The fish that are left in the net is what you've got left, what you've got left, and everything else. Oh God, I've got it wrong again.
We've got here a little bit of cheesecake, nice and quick, nice and simple. Got our ring. There we go. Okay. If you just destroy the whole bag.
Michael, can you stop that?
Oh, I'm in so much trouble! I'm in so much trouble!
Now picture, if you will, the scene. I just started on the running machine in the BBC gym yesterday, continuing my training for next year's London Marathon. Well, in comes Gary Lineker, looking for some advice on keeping fit. And of course, that was my session gone for a Burton. Typical day, the BBC, really. You can't get anything done without being interrupted.
Evening. That was a good start.
So, fortune telling may be really good fun, but there are just too many fraudsters around, like Peter Lamont, so it's just no good for the scientists, which is a real shame. But tomorrow, I'm going to go down to the department where they really...
Those of you with access...
Well?
It's
what? What?
It's the Marines.
Unless you ran around and wondered who was coming.
But Jimmy's alibi.
Places him only yards away from where Jodie was last seen, on the right street.
Well, me and my Rooney, we were very happy in that department right till the day she died.
Will you please shut up?
Set over, didn't he?
Did the England fans expect too much? I mean, we are playing Brazil, the #1 side in the world.
I think, to be honest, Kevin Keegan might be quietly satisfied with the draw. I think his concern maybe was that if England had won today, there'd be so much hype. Excuse me. Chris, I think you better come back to us in a minute. It's a fairly lively crowd.
Now, call me paranoid. I'll answer to anything because, frankly, I'm grateful for the attention. But sometimes I worry I'm being employed by the BBC just to talk gibberish. My only consolation is that I'm obviously not the only one.
There have been strong protests from the Vatican about the trial going ahead. The Vatican argues that while some Catholic
That is really amazing of you. That's the nurse in you, pretending to be a barrister just to help. I think I'd better go.
No, Guy, I really am a barrister, really. I didn't want to tell you because, well, with most men, it just turns them off. They feel threatened. Threatened. Threatened! Ah! After years of elocution, darling.
One day I climbed the little mountain behind my farm in Wales, in Pembrokeshire, and I could see the Black Stairs Mountains.
Which are just up here, aren't they?
Well, no, they're north.
That's the direction?
Unless they've moved. And he uses it to bait his eel traps.
So they're caught as the river comes down the estuary?
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's coming up the estuary.
We were talking about my husband.
Well, he seems to find these sessions very challenging.
Yes, and I fear there will be the death of him, and then what would I do? I mean, I'm still so young and firm, and with only my estates and riches, well... I got carried away with my own breasts.
Eton? And a first-class law degree from Cambridge. Now, this is exactly the sort of person who'll bring in a lot of well-paid work.
Well, I don't see why we need any more members of Chambers. Well, we've got one case coming up. The Georgiadis credit card. Oh, Buff.
It's easy for you to say that, but...
I know your secrets! Do they not fear me? I mean, my tongue is a cock's weapon! Do they not quiver with dread at the scandal I might just... Get Jimmy Cranky in here!
Now, here's the thing. Last week, confounding popular belief, I saw television's meanest quiz show host, Anne Robinson, out during the hours of daylight. And believe it or not, she does have a reflection. It was a timely reminder that while many things about life at the BBC are utterly predictable, not least this script, surprises are never too far away. Next thing you know, they'll be moving the 9 o'clock news.
And, what have we got here?
Well, you may ask. If you imagine that this bag is the inside of a large sauropod's stomach...
I'm imagining.
Yeah, try hard.
OK.
And these stones here would have actually been eaten by the dinosaurs to help them grind up the plants.
All right, so we've got some lettuce here which we're going to try and demonstrate. Let's
imagine
get
these lettuce leaves,
there we are.
bits of tree fern and cycad, what's it?
There's not that much left because Lucy ate some of it just now, I'm afraid. Shake it around.
Shake it around.
And the dinosaur's stomach would burst and everything would go all over the place.
Alan Mark reporting. Well, now for another in the series in which...
Now, as you know, I volunteered to have this tested. It takes about half a minute, so we'd
Yes.
probably better start first.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Will we go for this?
Right hand.
The right hand, so
Right
that's
hand.
OK. And we can carry on talking while you're doing it, because otherwise
No.
it'll be... We can't. It's quite difficult in television. 30 seconds of silence is a long time. If it was ITV, we could go to commercials, but sadly we can't. And how am I?
So, basically your physiology is very strong physiology.
Yes.
And you are determined nature.
What?
Determined nature.
Determined?
Determined
Yes.
nature. And I found in the pulse there is some blockage in the lower abdomen.
Oh,
it's
dear.
creating some pressure and gas in the stomach. And it is having pressure on the liver metabolism and sluggish liver.
Right.
But it's not a very serious condition.
If you told me you were going to come on and tell me I was flatulent in television, I would never have believed that I was going to suffer that indignity.
I can't believe you haven't sold one washing machine. Look, I've got a business to run, you know.
That'll be the gatepost then, Bridget. So it's not as simple as you just saying that private's bad and public's good.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I think on this occasion we can actually look at the experiences that we have. That's me.
I'm not happy with my hair, Ali. I'm not happy with my hair, Ali.
Cut it!
According to proverbial wisdom, pride comes before a fall. I don't mean to quibble, but around here, pride is not required. You just need to shout the word action to see someone falling flat on their fleshy parts.
For those who like that extra bit of thrill, it's been described as the ultimate challenge. The ride of your life that requires not just stamina and skill, but nerves of steel and plenty of bottle. For those who like that extra bit of thrill, it's been described as the ultimate challenge. The ride of your life that requires not just stamina and skill, but nerves of steel and plenty of bottle. Oh, I got down.
Action.
Are you alright? I can't believe I did that.
Strategic retreat, Hendricks!
Quiet. Have a bit of respect.
It's a Reaper fire! Keep on your feet, Hendricks, you idiot! Now take him out!
One.
And with our time together drawing to a close, it's time to face up to the inevitable and admit that when BBC employees encounter their hairiest moments, there's an unpredictable, furry creature involved. And I don't mean the controller of Radio 2.
How are the kids?
They're okay. No butchering, nothing. Marcus is fixing gravy. No, of course not. She's fine.
We could have got away with that.
Yeah, special thank you to all our record breakers this week, especially Svetlana. Big up Svetlana! Yeah! Limper to man! Limper to man!
At the moment, different vets charge differently. Now, to show just how uneven pricing can be, we've enlisted some help, the countryfile cow, who has already voted with her feet.
The major problem faced by animal shelters like the Wellcat Animal Sanctuary is if the animals aren't perfect, then nobody wants them. Slater here, for example, has been here since 1990 and has cerebral palsy at a cost of around £200 a year. You're eating the microphone, get off!
Well, for most of us, it has been a drier, brighter day than yesterday. And tonight, any showers will die away. That's going to leave most of us with a dry night. There were some clear spells, I think, in the south and west. And here it'll turn quite chilly with perhaps one or two mist patches. Now, tomorrow, then, it's going to be a dry, bright start for most of us, with some sunshine. But the north and east, though, there's a little more in the way of cloud around, and a few showers are likely as well.
What an incredible story. Reminds me of Tarzan. Now he's Jack with another incredible ape. Oi, do you mind?
Maybe it was the controller of Radio 2 after all. Until our next opportunity to raid Auntie Beeb's bottom drawer, goodbye.
A convict on the run is stopped in his tracks by a beautiful FBI agent. George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez star in tonight's movie Out of Sight, after the news here on BBC One. And over on BBC Two, I Love 1991, followed by the Oscar-winning drama Shine at 10:20. Staying in is definitely the new going out.